Welcome to Kuwaiti Dinar Analysts, the channel where we break down global currencies, oil economies, and the financial power moves that shape our world. If you're looking for deep analysis without all the hype, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today, we're retackling one of the most searched and misunderstood questions in all of global finance. Why does Kuwait never, ever devalue its currency? And more importantly, what's the hidden strategy behind keeping the Kuwaiti dinar the world's strongest currency? For decades, we've seen country after country use currency devaluation as an economic tool. Japan has done it. China has done it. Even powerful European economies have weakened their currencies when they felt they needed to. But Kuwait? Kuwait just refuses. Through wars, oil price crashes, regional instability, and global recessions, the Kuwaiti dinar has remained the strongest currency on the planet. This isn't luck. This is a deliberate policy. This is a strategy. So first things first, what does currency devaluation actually mean? In simple terms, it's when a country intentionally weakens its own currency. The goal is to make its exports cheaper for other countries to buy, which is supposed to stimulate economic growth. On paper, it sounds pretty smart, right? Your exports become more competitive. Tourism gets a boost because it's cheaper for foreigners to visit. Foreign investors might see an opportunity and rush in, but there's a massive hidden cost to all of this. Imports become way more expensive. Inflation can spiral out of control, and the average citizen suddenly finds their purchasing power has vanished. Their savings shrink practically overnight. Many developing nations get caught in this dangerous trap, but Kuwait chose a completely different path. To understand why, you have to look at Kuwait's economic reality. Kuwait is not some export-driven manufacturing giant. It doesn't rely on cheap labor or mass-producing goods for the world. Kuwait's entire economy is built on a few key pillars: oil exports that are priced in US dollars, a very high dependency on imports for almost everything, and a small population with a very high average income. For a country like this, a weak currency would cause far more harm than good. Think about it. Any devaluation would instantly mean higher food prices, higher housing costs, and higher bills for energy and utilities. It would directly reduce the real wealth of every single citizen. So instead of making the dinar weaker, Kuwait's strategy is to keep it strong. Now, how do they do this? This brings us to their secret weapon, the currency basket system. Unlike many Gulf countries that peg their currency directly to the US dollar, Kuwait links the dinar to a basket of major global currencies. This basket includes the US dollar, of course, but also the euro and other important world currencies. This system gives Kuwait incredible advantages. It provides stability when the US dollar fluctuates wildly. It offers protection from inflation happening in the United States. And most importantly, it gives Kuwait's central bank much more control over its own monetary policy. So, when the dollar weakens, Kuwait isn't automatically dragged down with it. And when the dollar gets super strong, Kuwait doesn't lose all of its competitiveness. This delicate balance acts as a powerful financial shield, and believe me, it is no accident. But there's another huge piece of the puzzle: oil revenues and the nation's sovereign wealth fund. Kuwait sells its oil in dollars, but it doesn't just hold on to those dollars. It invests that wealth all over the world through the Kuwait Investment Authority, or KIR. The KIR is one of the oldest and most powerful sovereign wealth funds on the planet. Its assets are incredibly diversified. We're talking about global stocks, prime real estate in major cities, critical infrastructure projects, government bonds, and huge stakes in technology investments. This global portfolio means Kuwait doesn't need to play games with its currency to survive economic downturns. While other countries are printing money to stay afloat, Kuwait is investing money to grow its wealth. That discipline alone is a massive factor in keeping the dinar so strong. And you can't ignore the psychological power of a strong currency. A currency that holds its value sends a powerful message to the world. It says this economy is stable. It says this government is disciplined. And it says this country protects the wealth of its citizens. The Kuwaiti dinar isn't just money. It's a national symbol of financial discipline. Think about it. Once a country starts devaluing its currency, public trust is broken. And once that trust is gone, trying to get it back becomes an incredibly expensive and difficult process. Kuwait understands this better than almost anyone. They've had a front row seat watching other countries fail. History is filled with cautionary tales. Just look at Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, or Lebanon. In each case, devaluation was pitched as a magic bullet for growth. And in each case, it delivered hyperinflation, economic chaos, and human suffering. Kuwait learned from the mistakes of others. Instead of chasing short-term fixes, it chose long-term credibility. So let's just run a thought experiment. What would happen if Kuwait decided to devalue the dinar tomorrow? It would be a catastrophe. Imported inflation would explode across the country. The standard of living for every citizen would plummet. Public trust in the government and the financial system would be shattered. And Kuwait's reputation as a stable anchor in the region would be destroyed. There is absolutely no economic incentive for Kuwait to ever take that kind of risk. That's why most serious analysts will tell you the same thing. Kuwait will only devalue its currency if the entire global financial system collapses. So, the final truth about the world's strongest currency is this: the Kuwaiti dinar is strong not just because of oil. It is strong because Kuwait consistently refuses to engage in reckless monetary policy. It is strong because the government is committed to protecting the purchasing power of its people. And it is strong because it prioritizes long-term stability over the illusion of short-term growth. This is why the dinar remains unmatched. And this is the real reason why Kuwait never devalues. If you found this analysis valuable, do me a favor and like this video. Subscribe to Kuwaiti Dinar Analysts, and share it with anyone who thinks currency strength is just about numbers on an exchange screen. As we've seen, the strongest currencies are built on discipline, not speculation. Thanks for watching.